And where it does not exist, we must not blame those who threaten it. We can only blame a government that allows it to be threatened. And if I'm elected as their president, insecurity is one thing I will not tolerate. All the macroeconomic indicators are not favorable under this APC administration. APC inherited single-digit inflation. They now increase it to about 16%. When APC came into power, unemployment was around 9%. Now unemployment is more than 33%. The exchange rate was 197 naira to a dollar in 2015. But in the hands of APC, naira suffered the worst devaluation ever. As we speak, the official exchange rate is more than 400 naira to a dollar. That was not the change we wanted. If we get elected, we will create alternative sources of foreign exchange supply to Nigeria and reduce importation to increase the value of the naira. They said we should go back to the farmlands. How can you ask people to go to the farms while you have not secured the farms? People cannot go back to the farm because they are afraid they could be kidnapped or killed. Under our leadership, we will ensure absolute security because that is the #1 condition for economic prosperity. We will provide access to mechanized farming systems and develop the agricultural value chain. We must diversify our foreign exchange sources through exports of processed agricultural products. When APC came into power, Nigeria's debt was 12 trillion, and now they increased it to 32 trillion. They still want to borrow more. Under our leadership, we will reduce government borrowing. Too much borrowing comes at the detriment of the future growth of our country. We will operate a liberal economy that allows businesses to grow through lower taxes and charges for small businesses and low-income earners. We will encourage the expansion of the private sector to spur economic growth. For our population to have positive impact, we must equip our people with modern competitive skills and provide the right environment for them to thrive. As Chief Abiola once said, and I quote, "We in Nigeria must not allow ourselves to be left behind," and I quote. If you look at our present state, you will agree with me that the world and sadly even the rest of Africa have left us behind. More than 100 million Nigerians are either unemployed, underemployed, or unemployable. How could ever increasing population be of added value if we do not create opportunities for our people? I know how to create jobs. I built several successful businesses and companies within Nigeria, and because of which thousands of people are gainfully employed. If I can manage my businesses well, I can manage the Nigerian economy well. Education should be given free to every Nigerian, at least up to the secondary school level. I know the value of education. If not because of education, what kind of value would someone like me, a poor child from a small village, would have added to Nigeria? That is why I established an educational community in my hometown where I built schools from kindergarten to university all in one place to provide education to the promising younger generation. The success of any educational policy is not measured based on the number of bodies in classrooms or schools alone, but also the quality and relevance of the education. That is why we will invest in improving access and quality of education. Nelson Mandela once said, and I quote, "No country can really develop unless its citizens are educated," and I quote. Every Nigerian must have access to affordable and decent health care. No Nigerian should be afraid of falling sick just because they cannot pay for the hospital bill. We will strengthen our healthcare programs so that every Nigerian can have access to the required minimum healthcare quality. Nigerians cannot afford to pay high petroleum prices. That is why we must ensure sufficient refining capacities within Nigeria. If we do that, petrol will be cheaper because it is locally produced. In the meantime, we will protect Nigerians from higher petrol prices through a new comprehensive energy policy. To provide an adequate and affordable electricity supply for every Nigerian, we will ensure sufficient investment in that sector. We will leverage renewable energies to power homes and commercial centers. And that is why we must provide opportunity for our people. When the citizens of any nation have the opportunity to progress at their own pace, they themselves will help make insecurity a thing of the past. We must remember that terror only thrives where there is local support and crime flourishes where it is profitable. If we introduce opportunities for Nigerians to express and progress themselves, we would have depressed the insecurity. 6, my policy document. As you are aware, I am a man of policy. I will never be that kind of a president operating based on impulse. Our administration will be guided by a consolidated and timely policy document. You and I will be working together to update and review my existing policy document. We should consolidate our ideas into a unified people's policy that will reflect the realities and possibilities of the current time. The consolidated and reviewed people's policy document will be announced in due course. It will also serve as an input into the PDP manifesto. Style of governance. I am confident in my ability to deliver inclusive governance. I invite every well-meaning Nigerian to join me in rescuing Nigeria. I don't have to be the most qualified Nigerian, but I should be wise enough to bring together the most qualified Nigerians to work with them, even if I don't know them previously. I will summon the best brains and work with them. I would like to work more with young people. Young people are more agile, creative, and conversant with contemporary opportunities and challenges. I, too, feel like I am a young man. So, you can call me a youth, too. Thank you. Our administration is going to be a transition of power from the senior generation to a younger generation. We will cut down the cost of governance because leaders must sacrifice first for the benefit of the people. We will set our fiscal budget within a realizable and realistic level so that we can reduce government debts. We will support and actively engage the private sector in building infrastructure and creating more job opportunities. In conclusion, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in the end, this campaign is not about me. It is about you. It is about the future of this country. Let our stories be told for generations to come that we are the ones that rescued Nigeria when it was on the verge of fatal destruction. This is our last opportunity to write our names with the golden ink of history. It must be now or never. This time around is different. Our journey will not end at the port. We will get to work and rescue Nigeria. I invite every Nigerian to join me in this mission to save our dear country. I believe together we can do it. This is what we owe to Nigeria and the future generation. I have never been this optimistic, and with your support and God's grace, we will get to the promised land. The late sage, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, did say that, and I quote him, "After rain comes sunshine. After darkness comes the glorious dawn," and I quote. We have experienced rain and darkness has enveloped us for too long. Now is the time for sunshine. The hour of our glorious dawn is finally here.